Happy Canada Day! I hope you display the flag proudly today in celebration of the freedoms we cherish. These freedoms were championed in 1960 by John G. Diefenbaker, Canada's 13th Prime Minister, through the Canadian Bill of Rights. He famously said, "I am Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship God in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to choose those who govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind." The achievement was a remarkable contribution, delivering a promise of freedom. Think of the times in which they were delivered. A world set in the aftermath of World War II and in the midst of the Cold War, of civil rights movements and major technological transformation. Since the birth of Confederation, ours has been a promise to keep. A nation where citizen is master and government is servant. A nation defined by freedom and the responsibilities of upholding those freedoms for all. Where it doesn't matter where you're from, but what you can do. Where you can think big and dream big and realize your full potential. This legacy of freedom is more important than ever. When elected last July, I vowed to confront threats to our democracy, foreign and domestic. Across the world, authoritarians are on the rise, and here at home, mobs are on the march. They are determined to reorganize our world, rewrite history, and replace it with radical ideologies. They seek to undermine everything that has made Canada the greatest country on earth. And amid all this, I am thankful for our heritage and our inheritance of freedom, the sacrifice our veterans have made to defend those freedoms, and to all who dedicate themselves to cherish and uphold those freedoms. Ours is a promise to keep, and with it, a decision to make. At times, it seems like a growing number of our politicians think we should be ashamed of our country. Some think that celebrating Canada Day is somehow inappropriate. Their argument is that because of historical wrongs, Canada isn't something to be celebrated at all. They seek to erase our history from our passports to statues in our public squares. Well, no country is perfect, but our Canadian aspirations are perfect. Our country is one of the oldest democracies on the planet. The injustices of our past are scars that serve as living memories for future generations. I've worked across lands weathered by wars where people pay the ultimate sacrifice so their children can live in freedom and in peace. In their eyes, Canada is a shimmering beacon of hope, not because of the injustices of the past, but because of how we address them. Our imperfections are met by a nation determined to uphold our highest ideals. What matters is that we keep fighting for our better future, not by tearing history down or waging campaigns of division, but by building up everything that has made this country the greatest country on earth. At over 40 million people strong, let us choose to build the freest, most prosperous country in the world, not because we're perfect, but because we never relent in our pursuit of perfection. Let us choose to overcome indifference and apathy and decide instead to step up, serve our fellow citizens, lift up those who are hurting, and restore the promise of freedom for this great country. I wish you and yours a wonderful celebration, and may God keep our land glorious and free.